The story begins with the two swinging from vine to vine, as they now see a cocoon Pokemon just hanging nearby. They also had an accident in which the cocoon fell from the thread it was hanging onto. They thought that it was sleeping, until suddenly it just glows in his arms and evolving into a different kind of Pokemon. The fragile cocoon from before became a big flying insect in front of the boy, as he backs off a little from it. The insect now is pointing its sharp hands to the boy, but eventually it poses no threat to them and just flies away. Satoshi and his Pokemon Pikachu are resting under the shades of a big tree while seeing different Pokemons around them like Koroboshi, Minezumi, Digda, and also a smiling Meowth Pokemon. Satoshi shouts seeing it, and then Pikachu has been captured by a net trap. It happens so fast as his pal is being dragged up above. It's the Rocket Gang doing their old antics yet again, which is capturing Pokemons from their trainers. They jumped into the air showcasing their awesome villain gang, and not to forget their terrible taglines as they announced their evil plans to the world. Then they ended it with a pose with the whole gang members. Satoshi shouts at them, "You are so lame as ever," then orders Pikachu to release its 100,000 volts of electricity. But it's no use, the net is preventing it to spread outside. The villain explains that the net they bought is very effective against it, as they now walks away with a smile on their faces. It's not over yet, Satoshi says, and calls forth Onvern, his bat Pokemon. The boy orders it to do a blast waves attack, but the girl named Musashi is ready with her Pokemon counter-attacking the blast and returning it to the hero. Satoshi now calls forth Donphan, in which it rolls over and successfully blocks the attack. The villains are in shock seeing that. Finally, the hero calls now his best Pokemon Jakan, and orders it to do a Leaf Blade attack in which the villains immediately run away from the frightening move. Jakan is successful freeing Pikachu from Kojira's net, and Satoshi shouts for its ultimate attack, the 100,000 volts of electricity. Pikachu gladly electrocuted them all, and off goes the villains flying to the sky and faces defeat. All Satoshi's Pokemon celebrates their win afterwards. While still flying through the sky, the unexpected happens as they sort of bump into something flying mid-flight. It seems like it is an invincible Pokemon which is now crashing down to the forest below, and then heads straight to the lake nearby. The hero hears it make a big splash, and then they decided to investigate it. Onvern with Pikachu hovers above it, and Satoshi without hesitation goes to the water and tries to save it from drowning. He pulls it out of the water and discovers it was a Latias all along. It struggles a little bit trying to protect itself, but it is too weak to even fly away on its own. The hero still worries, and carries it to get out of the water. He even calls forth Buizel to help them out, and all of them got out safely towards the shore. Satoshi notices that Latias is wounded all over its body, especially to its wing, and the helpful boy pulls out his medkit and tries to mend its wounds. Back with the villains, they're trying to find their way out of the forest but unexpectedly stumble with the hero's campfire. They watch them from afar quietly, and Musashi is curious on what new Pokemon it is. Meowth then pulls out his Pokédex to know what it is, and finds out it is Latias, a dragon and psychic-type Pokemon. The Pokédex added, it is also a rare and legendary Pokemon, in which the group is super delighted to know. What good luck, they say, and we're going to catch it. The next morning, Pikachu then hears something, as a big vacuum appears in the air and started to suck the flying Pokemon. Satoshi shouts, and also jumps into the vacuum along with Latias in it. Soon later, the villains are heard laughing as a big hot air balloon started to cover the whole sky. They celebrate that they finally caught a legendary Pokemon, but didn't expect that the boy is also there with it. It's okay, Meowth says, as long as they have Satoshi, his Pokemons will never attack them. Latias became scared, and the hero comforted it that everything will be just fine. Meowth says the operation is a success, and they all float away to the heavens. Satoshi is still not giving up, and signals Pikachu to try to attack him with its 100,000 volts of electricity. And with all its power, Pikachu releases a devastating surge of electrocuting volts, in which the hero is directly hit with it and also breaking the glass at the same time. The villains witness it in shock, while both Latias and Satoshi are now falling in the sky. Take my hands, the boy shouts, and Latias, for the first time trusted a human, grabs him and flies away, both saving them from falling. Then for the finale, Satoshi orders Onvern to do a blast waves attack, which is a direct hit towards the enemies, and then an explosion happens. Yet again the Rocket Gang flies away with their signature defeat. Latias then brought back the hero into safety with his Pokemons, and Satoshi says his final farewell to the legendary Pokemon as it flies away. Another adventure awaits as the hero and Pikachu arrives at the beautiful scenery of the coast. He also releases his other Pokemons to have a chance for them to play, and everyone is having a wonderful time. While Pikachu is playing with the water, it was suddenly been grabbed by something underneath and trying to drag it down as well. Pikachu pushes through and jumps high, revealing a lobster Pokemon. Then it blasted a water gun towards Pikachu, in which it is thrown away towards the hero. Satoshi now pulls out his Pokédex to know what just attacked them, and it's Udepo, a water-type Pokémon. The hero got excited and decided that he will catch it, but suddenly his wrist has been grappled by a fishing wire by someone else. He takes a look above him, and he notices a familiar friend named Kasumi. But the girl gets mad, and says it's her who's gonna catch that Pokémon. Next, the Udepo blasted a water gun around it, which causes a wind gust towards them. After that, the wild Pokémon goes back again to the water and escapes. Pikachu runs towards the girl and is just so happy to see her. She tells now a story about her destiny to be that Pokémon's trainer. For you see, when she was fishing the other day, Udepo grabs her lure and then blasted a water gun to her face. That's when she knew when their eyes met by that attack, they are meant to be together. No way, Satoshi says, cause I'm the one who's gonna catch it for my Higani to be his best friend. We'll decide on who's gonna catch it by fishing it out, Kasumi says. The boy agrees and pulls out also his fishing pole. Next, the challenge starts. Whoever to fish it out first will have the chance to catch it. Everyone is pumped out at first, then time flies and immediately Satoshi is getting sleepy already. Little did they know, the Rocket Gang is spying on them just nearby. Meowth informs everyone that the kid has now a companion, which they also know from before. Satoshi is getting bored by the second, and the girl reprimanded him for being impatient. Suddenly something is biting on Kasumi's lure and she gives all her energy to pull out her fishing wire. It is Udepo at last, revealing itself out of the water and shocks everyone. The wild Pokémon in the water uses now its tail to maneuver itself away from them, and the girl couldn't pull it anymore as she is now dragged towards the sea. The hero couldn't help but laugh on her being beaten by a Pokémon. Then it also grabbed Satoshi's lure, pulling now his fishing wire as if his life depended on it. But Udepo is strong, it manages to manipulate the wire to its advantage and pulls the hero towards the water as well. Kasumi has a big smile on her face afterwards. Another lure has been set off and Udepo catch that bait with its claw, in which it's been snagged towards the enemies at the sea. It's Musashi and Kojira looking like zombies yet again to cause chaos to the trainers. They say they look like this because they've been starving at the sea for days, and they want this blue lobster for their next meal. Immediately, Higani wouldn't allow that to happen and launches itself to free the wild Pokémon. The two now work together and do a special move that blasted the enemies into the air, defeating them. Now that the distraction is gone, the two battle it out to become Udepo's trainer. Kasumi calls forth Niorotono, while the hero wants to defeat it with electric-type Pokémon, so he chooses Pikachu. But then again he chooses Higani instead. Higani initiates the attack by using Crab Hammer, but the frog avoided it. Niorotono now prepares with a Focus Blast while the lobster launches itself heads-on. The frog fires its energy ball, but Higani just squished it with its claw that shocks the opponent. Satoshi commands it to do an Aqua Jet attack, and is surrounding the confused frog in the center of it. Niorotono jumps and blasted a water gun, but it's nothing effective against Hygani's Aqua Jet attack. And it's been a hit. Satoshi's Pokémon landed a blow to its opponent in mid-air. And for the finale, Higani uses Crab Hammer, to which creates a powerful blow to its surroundings. Little did they know, the fight is not over yet. Niorotono now counter-attacks with its Megaton Punch, sending Higani back into the air and ultimately defeated it. Everyone is sad to what happens as the hero approaches his Pokémon. The lobster can't help but cry that he let his trainer down. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.